Conscious collaboration brings together entrepreneurs, changemakers, and thought leaders. We aim to highlight the people that embody the idea of aligned mind, body, and business. Each week, we share, discuss, and learn from the various experiences and ideas of our guest experts. Through our discovery, we find a path to an aligned mind, body, and business.
Hi guys, it's me, Lisa.
And I'm Emily, and we are the Festive and Conscious Collaboration Podcast. What up, Lisa? What up, Collaboration Nation?
Collaboration Nation.
How's everybody doing? I know, it sounded so...
It sounded good. Yeah, it sounded good. I like it. We can use that.
It sounded some type of way. I don't know.
We'll put it in the bank for future.
It didn't quite hit how I wanted it to. Okay. Hey, I didn't get a new notification. I just want to make sure we're recording. Are we recording from your end?
We are. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Good. Because I got some good stuff for y'all. It is the Tuesday of Thanksgiving week as we are recording this, and I have decided to really put my coaching hat on today and just give you guys some real practical tips as far as navigating the holiday season without sending health too off track, in particular nutrition. And, you know, this is certainly not about being perfect or restrictive or, just to a point where you're not able to enjoy yourself. Being able to enjoy yourself and spending time with loved ones is a huge part of health. But that said, we've all probably experienced at some point just getting too overboard, and it starts to get a little spirally, and that just has some lingering effects on mental and physical energy, and just nobody wants to feel particularly bloated and in digestive distress and all those things. That'll carry over far beyond any benefit that we get from the holidays. So let's just go through some real easy, practical strategies to approach these times. And really, you can use these for any sort of event or, meal or situation that you may go into that's not 100% in your control.
There's so many events on my calendar, and like a lot of times I like it when I'm going out and I can see the menu ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
So I can strategize what I'm going to be doing. But most of these events, they're just like potluck, or they're catered. I don't know like what's there. So
loved ones cooking, and right, like they want,
but you don't want to feel bad for not trying something someone made.
Yeah. So, well, yes and no. We can kind of get to that. I feel like, along with this is just a little side quest before we get started, because this isn't going to be in the list of tips. But I feel like food, right, nutrition is as personal as an issue or a concept as religion or spirituality, right? Like,
or intimacy for that matter.
Right.
Like, this is not what I do. Yeah.
I get it on one hand that people, I'm like this. Food is very much a love language, even in the gifting side of things. Like, I love to cook for people, but at the same time, we can't put ourselves in, or we shouldn't put ourselves in not ideal situations, or situations where we are like in pain or hurting, just to sort of make somebody else comfortable in that regard. weird. So
it's like food consent.
some people get it is, and some people can get really high pressure with it. And look, I know it's a mom thing all the way around,
Yeah.
a grandma thing, right? But at any rate, we really can't succumb to that pressure in a way that.
So, like, here's my strategy that I used at a party recently. I was given like a plate, like they plated the food for me. And what I did was I took it and I walked around and then I got another plate and put it on top of that one.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
That's good.
And I was still walking around. And then like I got
Yeah, or you can just walk around with it too.
walk
Like,
around with
just
it. Yeah,
kinda
but I
make
was
it
actually
look
like hungry and I just didn't want like I just don't like someone else plating my food.
we shouldn't have to
Yeah.
explain to people why we're putting
Right.
the amount or the type of like it really shouldn't be a thing that we have to explain.
It was like a magic trick. It was
Yeah,
like, there's food, no food.
but there is this idea that like it's not an idea. I've heard, honestly, it's pretty much a fact. But um, just because something's normal or common, excuse me,
Right.
just because something's common doesn't mean that it's healthy or good or normal, right? And really, if we concern ourselves too much with like doing what everybody else is doing, the norm is unhealthy.
Yeah.
The norm
So true.
is metabolic dysfunction. And
So true.
we have to actually carry ourselves outside the norm in order to be healthy in this modern climate. And that's just the way it is. So, but there are ways to go about it without having, and, it's kind of one of those things where in the vast majority of circumstances, if you don't make it a thing, it doesn't have to be a thing. Or, if you just kind of take things in stride and say, hey, it's not, not that I can't eat this. I'm just choosing not to. So, so, okay, let's dive into these tips. Let's get real practical with it. So first tip is going to be to pregame your plate. All right. Mm-hmm. So before we even go out to an event or a holiday meal, have yourself, well, depending on what time the meal is, like if it's a true dinner, like a lot of us eat Thanksgiving kind of in the middle of the day, but if it's a true dinner, eat your normal. Don't sit there and starve yourself all day and come into the event ravenous. Eat how you normally eat before you come into a meal. And if it's maybe earlier in the day, just have a small meal that is packed with lean protein and non-starchy veggies. Okay. So a lot of these, holiday foods that we tend to eat tend to be much, much higher proportionally in carbs and fats. So let's make sure that we get some lean protein in, right? Chicken breast is an example. Maybe more leaning towards the egg white side of things, or, some lean ground beef or turkey, and non-starchy vegetables. So, your green veggies, basically anything that's not, potatoes and root vegetables and that kind of thing, because these are going to be your most satiating foods. They're going to be, your protein is the most satiating of the macronutrients, right? Out of your protein, your carbohydrates, and your fats. The protein is going to fill you the most, and the fiber in the non-starchy veggies is going to be very filling. And those two things tend to be potentially a little more lacking in all of your kind of traditional holiday gifts. So have yourself a small meal with plenty of lean protein and some non-starchy vegetables before you go, pretty close to before you go to your holiday meal, so that you're not ravenous when it's time to make your plate. And that drastically reduces the likelihood of you overeating on all the more indulgent foods. Okay?
So if you've been fasting, then break your fast before going to the event.
Yeah, absolutely. And I may not just use that as a day. If I certainly wouldn't use that as a day to like start learning to fast, because
Right.
fasting is a muscle that needs to be trained,
Right.
essentially. You can think of it like that. So now is not the time to like start fasting if you have not done that before.
Right. Yes.
Okay, so and certain that's actually the worst thing you could do, because you won't be adapted yet. That muscle won't be trained, and then you're way more likely to be just ravenous as you enter that holiday meal or event. All right, so the next tip is a strategy for structuring your plate once you get to the event. If you are able to make your own plate. So start by filling your plate with whatever the available protein and vegetables at the events are, and eat them first for the same
Mm-hmm.
reason, right?
Yeah.
So that way, when you go, and this is not to say that you have to restrict yourself from the fun foods or the more indulgent foods, right? Is how we're going to
Mm-hmm.
kind of look at them. But you will satisfy your true hunger first with the more nutrient dense options, right? Because your body
Yeah.
goes, oh, okay, we're actually getting the things that we need in. And then, so that way, again, once you get to smaller portions of the more fun foods that you want to try, you'll be way less likely to overdo it and just eat all the fun foods. Okay.
Not eat all the things. Yes.
Yes. Yes. So super easy. Start with protein and vegetables, both at home, and then once you get to the event, and eat them first. All right. Now, next tip. You mentioned the potluck idea, and I know a lot of these events are kind of more potluck style. So, if that's the case, then you can use that as an opportunity to bring a dish that you will enjoy, but that may be lacking at the event. If you can, I know that the proteins tend to be more expensive, but if you have the resources to do this, depending on the size of the event and stuff like that, bringing an option for protein could be good. um, or if you're doing something, if you're going to an event with a turkey or ham or whatever, and you eat those things, then you might be all set in that regard. But maybe you bring a vegetable, because those do tend to be lacking at these events. Even your green bean casseroles and stuff, they have a bunch of other stuff in them
Yes.
to go along.
Yes.
So maybe a nice salad, or some kind of good vegetable dish that you like. Or if you have I know one thing that I like to do just on a regular basis is make typically more indulgent foods, but in a healthier way. And
Yeah.
that can mean a lot of things, whether it's, decreasing the carbs and the sugar, or just generally using higher quality ingredients than what you typically might find in something. That could be a good option, so that you have something kind of safer to reach for, that you genuinely enjoy, that'll still kind of scratch that itch. So that's the tip for a potluck style event, is to bring something healthy,
Yeah,
essentially.
I do that, and I'm like kind of known for bringing the healthy thing, and no one likes it, and that's all I'm eating. But that's okay. It's okay to be known for the person that's bringing the healthy thing that no one wants to eat.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I pride myself in kind of being able to make stuff that is healthy, but that people enjoy anyway. And it's one of those things where if it doesn't necessarily have to be a thing if you don't make it a thing. Like, if
Yes.
you don't, you know what I mean? If you don't make a big deal out of, oh, well, everything here is going to be just garbage and gluttonous, so I'm going to bring, but just, if you
Yeah.
bring a beautiful
No.
salad and don't make it seem like
Yeah.
that's weird,
No, I
then
think I think
let's
it's more
normalize
like
it. Let's
I think it's
normalize healthy stuff actually being delicious and something that
yeah.
you can look
I
forward
think our age group is more embracing of that healthy, when I go to something that's more our age group, it's like the um no offense or anything, but most of the time, not all the time, it's, the grandmas and the great grandmas that you're going to see that like they cannot wait to eat the most unhealthy things with marshmallows and everything. And it comes from them. It's almost like the comments when you show up to a party, oh, you need to put on some weight. Can't you put on some weight? That kind of stuff. And I think that's, it's fine. It doesn't bother me.
I think that's just as toxic as telling somebody they need to lose weight.
Right, it is. But you know what? I think like someone that's in their 80s, sometimes if that's the way they are, I'm not going to try to like retrain them. And that's not for everybody, because I know like, my friend Dr. Miriam in her 80s, she's super healthy and she loves to try new healthy things. And she would never do that. So that's not to say for everybody, but it's kind of like that old, like the cultural, like you need to put some meat on your bones or get a second helping. Or I bet you brought like the healthy dish again. I don't want that. I want the marshmallows. So, which is fine. And there are always people that are like, oh, like curious. They want to try something different. I think it's good to bring it, but yeah, I don't think it's not always the guest that's bringing the making an issue of things, especially if it's part of our normal healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, I mean, I think we could probably do a whole episode about kind of navigating that, but I think a lot of it, if we can sort of set boundaries and carry ourselves in a way where we're not, we're able to just sort of smile and nod through that, because I mean,
Exactly.
honestly, like whether you're 80 years old or not, and I get it.
Yeah.
But honestly, to me, that's just as inappropriate. You're commenting on someone's body, and that'd be just as inappropriate as me being like, "Hey, you sure you want to eat that? Like, do you need? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, that's
Yeah.
kind of two sides of the same coin." So,
Yeah.
so just try to approach it with a little grace and
Yeah.
just not let anything like that get to you.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So, and maybe we will do a topic on that one day if people, let us know, comment, share in the group if that's something that.
At the Conscious Collaboration Podcast, we are proud affiliates of Atapa medical grade red light therapy devices. Red light therapy boasts a long list of clinically proven benefits, many that I and many of my clients have experienced firsthand. You can be sure that you'll be able to train harder, recover faster, and sleep better with Atapa red light therapy. Visit myatapa.com, myatapa.com, or use the link in our Instagram bio to shop with the code COLLAB15, that's COLLAB 15, for a discount on your device.
That you'd be interested in hearing us talk about navigating. Okay. This is a big one. Huge bang for your buck in terms of impact that this will have on how you feel and how you process the meal. And that is to get in some movement after the meal. Does that mean you have to go for a jog? No, it does not. If you want to, go for it if that's your thing. I'm not doing that. But if you can take a walk, even if you can recruit like the whole family to take a walk, that's healthy in so many ways, and kind of a lost art in my mind, that used to be kind of a
tradition.
But yeah, if you can take a walk, amazing. All right. But if you're not necessarily in the position to do that for whatever reason, any sort of movement that's going to get your muscles contracting is going to be amazing for both digestion of the meal and for blood sugar control following the meal, because those muscles, and that, I mean, it can be the most gentle of movement, like a walk, but just the contraction of those muscles will suck up any excess glucose in the bloodstream like a sponge without having to release excess insulin. So again, that whole the kind of physiology of that is like a whole other podcast, but you will feel 1,000 times better than if you just do the kind of like, okay, I'm gonna slump down on the couch right after the meal and just watch. I mean, watch the football game by all means.
Yeah.
But first, do some squats, some air squats, right, or some couch squats. Do some wall push-ups, or even, and they have done research on this, calf raises under the table. Like if you literally are in some kind of situation where you can't even get up from the table, start pumping your calves under the table. That contracts muscles, and they have showed this in research that like, I think it's like, don't quote me on this, but I think it's like 30%. Like it is significant, the amount that it would decrease the blood glucose spike, which just to kind of briefly touch on what that means for the way you feel, that'll prevent like ravenous cravings later, right? From the subsequent dip in blood sugar that's as dramatic as the original spike. That'll prevent, mood changes. People can get anxious, all these sorts of things. And it'll prevent brain fog, right?
Yeah.
So you'll feel a lot better. Just take some gentle movement following the meal. It doesn't have to be like a full workout. 10 minutes of movement. Just get those muscles contracting. Here's a bonus that's related to that is not on my list, but if you want to get extra credit, right, for leveraging movement in a impactful way before a meal, if you use that as like a resistance training day, your muscles will actually be begging for to get those glycogen stores refilled. So if you are able to, and you could, again, even kind of, if this suits the dynamics of your family or whoever you're hanging out with, you could even make this like a connecting moment, like before dinner, like, hey, let's all go out and we'll do,
it's like a turkey trot.
Squats. Let's do some, like, if you get some kind of little resistance workout in before the meal, that will reduce the negative impact of the meal. So that's just a bonus. All right. But definitely get some gentle movement in afterwards. And lastly, whatever happens, let's protect our mental health and remember what the holidays are for, right? Because we already do this thing, I think, culturally, that's really unfortunate, where we have really just made the holiday season like stressful, additional stress into a stress bucket instead of allowing it to just sort of flow naturally and just allowing it to be a de-stressor where we can really take advantage of the time spent around our loved ones to get that oxytocin and that relaxing. And so, if we're overfilling our stress bucket, that's not good for tacking on the holiday pounds, if you will, right? Like that, that'll just propel any potential weight gain or what have you. So let's do what we can to decrease that stress load from the holidays. And whatever happens, no shame, no guilt. Okay. because that tends to perpetuate, if we have one bad day, even if our prepping strategies happen, but we kind of let ourselves go overboard anyway, it's just a day. If we start to dwell on that and start to, punish ourselves, what actually tends to happen is then we go into the whole spiral where one day becomes the entire holiday season. And that's where you see people gaining 15 pounds from November through December, which is obviously not ideal for a lot of reasons. Just health wise. Okay. We're just talking pure health wise. Like, it's not good to gain weight in a short period of time. Okay. So whatever happens, embrace this idea of no shame, no guilt. Enjoy the time with your loved ones. If you do fall off the wagon for a meal or even a day, it's okay. Just get right back on it. Just get right back on it. Don't feel that guilt and shame. Don't start the punishment, and avoid one meal or one day turning into that whole spiral. And this doesn't have to be, that's really it. That's it. That's the post, guys. This doesn't have to be like an elaborate thing. It's just kind of, where can we incorporate these little, really simple strategies to prevent holiday meals and events from turning into a downward health spiral.
So just a quick question. Okay. That was all really good information. Perfect timing. Is there anything, like, I love what you said about, like, don't like linger on the guilt or shame that you overdid it or you didn't get your steps in or whatever. But I love that. Like, that's great for mental health. But, like, is there anything for our bodies, like aftercare? Should we go overboard? Is there, besides like sleep and everything, is there anything like, is it, I always, and this probably does nothing, but I always drink like a lot of lemon water the day after I eat, like things.
No, I think that does do something. I don't think we need to go too overboard in like magic detox, intervention.
Just simple things.
I think that can just sort of increase the guilt and shame spiral. But yeah, no, I think just really dialing in the nutrition at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of hydration. I do lemon water every day. I've been doing kind of a concoction of like I'll cut up some ginger root and some mint leaves and boil them to essentially make a tea, and then I'll squeeze some lemon in it. I've been doing that every day. Just, it makes my gut feel good.
It smells good.
It does. It smells good. Makes your house smell good. And so, and if I find too, I can use that, or I can even use, like, if you like apple cider vinegar, like a little bit of even apple cider vinegar in some water. That's important. Don't just drink it straight. Put it in some water. But those things can help too. Because one thing that can happen when we do eat a bunch of carbs, right? Like and I'm not saying don't do it, right? But when we eat a lot more carbs than usual, especially, or a lot of sugar in particular, that sort of begets more cravings, even if we do the things right with the protein and everything. So I find that the ginger tea and or the apple cider vinegar and water kind of helps to shut the cravings back down.
Yeah. I like that.
I think that's a good idea. And again, just getting right back on the wagon. Just try to get some steps in the next day. If you have the opportunity to get some resistance training in and put the food to work, right? Mm-hmm. That's the thing that I like. Do not try to cardio it off. If that's where your mind's going, don't try. It takes a ridiculous, like, you would have to run like 6 miles to, burn off one piece of pie or something. If you're looking at it at that. So don't look at it as this transactional thing where now you have to burn off calories that you consumed. That'll get you nowhere fast. But If you are a person who regularly exercises, you can definitely leverage uh, the meal the next day with a really good strength workout. Just use it as energy, as fuel.
Yeah, I remember like not to say anything bad about like the whole Orange Theory method and everything, but when I used to do that back in the day, that was like always the most popular day, and they did these insane like you wouldn't see people for weeks, and then all of a sudden, right after Thanksgiving or Christmas and New Year's, it was like they did these extreme workouts. I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
God.
Well, that's also a really good way to get injured.
No one get injured or have a heart attack.
Especially if you're already kind of pre-inflamed from eating a bunch of sugar and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
so just
Yeah.
get back on track. Just get back on track with the good habits. Don't try to uh, overcome anything. You know.
Yeah. That sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
What are you bringing to your like Thanksgiving? What are you doing?
So I'm actually doing a little Friendsgiving Brinner.
Ooh.
Just a couple few of us, and I am gonna chef up uh, some cheesy eggs and bacon, and I got some chicken sausage. So we definitely got the protein covered there. And I'm gonna make for um, some fiber. I got these cauliflower hash browns
Mhm.
from Sprouts. They do have some potato in it, but they're mixed with cauliflower as well. So there's a little more fiber, a little bit less carbs there, a
That's
little
cute.
better balance. And
Yeah.
I've never had these, but I was talking to somebody else about them, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, those are so good!" So I'm really looking forward to trying those. So I got cauliflower hash browns. I'm gonna do like a little arugula salad kind of thing, and
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
some tomatoes. So we'll have like the veggies there, but you still get like the hash brown vibe.
Hmm.
And then I got these really bougie, high quality waffles. Um, and
Oh.
so here's just a little example. I'm not saying anybody needs to do this, but here's just a little example of how I'm going to make something quite indulgent, still indulgent, but maybe a little bit better. So I got for the waffles, first of all, I got really good quality waffles. They're grain free, and they're made with like whole food ingredients.
Hmm.
um but they're still really good and delicious. And I got, for the syrup, I got both real maple syrup, and then I'm going to mix it with this monk fruit syrup that I got.
Ooh,
So that we
yeah.
can be a little, and I'm going to use like real grass fed butter or whatever. So we can be nice and indulgent, but also kind of mitigate, you know what I mean? The
Yeah.
sugar bombing a little bit.
Well, it's
Um,
special because it's not something you normally have, but like,
yeah.
yeah.
So we're still, we're gonna indulge, we're gonna feast, right? But we're
Hmm.
just, I just make some little, and like since I'm going real full on full fat bacon, right?
Hmm.
The
Yeah.
sausages, I'm doing like chicken sausages that are a little less, that are higher in protein and less so in fat, but it's not like, it's just making, to me, how I view it is just making a little bit smarter choices without it feeling like diet food, you know?
Right. Right. Like, be mindful of the nutrients you're taking in, and
And we'll
even though
just feel better.
it's,
We'll just
yeah.
we'll just feel better for, and more satiated and less likely to get into that place where we're just like full to the brim but still
Yeah.
shoveling food in our mouth. I've been there, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we're doing, and I'll be with a couple of really cool people, and I'm actually working
Yeah.
uh, Thanksgiving, So yeah,
time and a half.
a little bit time and a half, baby. You got it.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it. I hear you. Well, that sounds lovely. I like it. Thank you for the tips. I think they're gonna come in handy.
Yeah.
And I for one vote, just maybe we talk next time or a little bit more deeper into the season, how to navigate the etiquette.
The go-to relatives
Yes.
who are telling you to eat. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. I'm down.
All righty, cool. Well, guys, that was good. I hope you guys got as many good tips as I did.
Yeah, and let us know if you've got any more strategies that you like to approach the holidays with.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Let us know inside of the Conscious Collaboration Collective, our closed and private Facebook group. We've welcomed a few new people in there, all really amazing. And, shout out to Felicia McCaskill, making some connections in there for some new speaking opportunities where she was found on our podcast. So congratulations. Awesome. And we will see you on the inside, and do your best, but don't beat yourself up. Yes. All in moderation. All right, guys. We'll talk to you in 5.
Talk to you in 5. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank y'all so much for listening to our podcast. If you haven't yet, please be sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share with all your friends so they can join our circle of collaboration on this journey. You can find us on Instagram at Conscious Collaboration Podcast, on Spotify, iTunes, and Audible, to name a few. Please join us next time for another deep dive into how you can live life in more alignment, mind, body, and business. Send us your questions and comments in our DMs or email us at consciouscollaborationpodcast@gmail.com. See you in 5 minutes.